Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. So, this is a review for the movie Sidekicks. I saw this back shortly after it came out on video. My dad rented this movie for us when we were little, and I haven't seen it since, to be completely honest. I have not seen this movie since. But I really do enjoy this movie. It's a really good, feel-good kind of follow your dreams kind of thing. And an otherwise rejected or ignored boy, Jonathan Brandis, creates a fantasy pal, Chuck Norris, from his martial arts movie hero. And the kid is bullied. He's made fun of. He's an asthmatic. Jonathan Brandis plays him to let you guys know what he looks like. This was Jonathan Brandis. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2003 from suicide, unfortunately. This movie has a great cast. Beau Bridges, Mako, Julia Nixon. Julia Nixon from First Blood 2, or Rambo 2. And Joe Piscopo. Oh my god, he plays such an asshole in this movie. Danica McKellar, who was from 90s fame. I've seen her, or I believe she was in Growing Pains, if I remember correctly. And there's this other actor, or rather a stuntman in this movie, who's Chuck Norris' son. Chuck Norris has a son, Eric Norris, who looks just like his dad in this movie. When there's these bikers in the bar causing problems, one of them looks just like Chuck Norris, and I'm thinking to myself, God, he looks like Chuck. Is that Chuck? But it turns out it's his son. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, that is seriously really looking like, or very much like Chuck. I thought it was Chuck at first, but then I found out his son is Eric Norris, and I'm like, wow, that is interesting. You get some pretty good writing in this film in some places. In other places, it's, well, some people might call it cringeworthy or cringe or whatever. But honestly, I think the writing is actually well done in this film, because it gives you that level of high school awkwardness and embarrassment, where this kid who is asthmatic goes through a tough time with stuff, and then his teacher, played by Julia Nixon, is trying to help him out. He has an overactive imagination, which is why he's continuously putting himself in different movies and themes where where he helps out Chuck Norris. There's a western, there's a oriental, there is the one where he comes out of the water, starts shooting, the Hitman movie. I mean, all sorts of movies that he helps Chuck Norris in his mind. And there's a nice little twist in these sequences when, because all the women who are the damsels in distress end up being his teacher, but then in this case, or in the last case, it turns out to be the girl he likes. And it's like, holy crap, man. This movie does have a good story. It's not by any means a super fantastic movie from objective standard. However, or objective standard I meant. Subjective standard, this movie is a great film. Joe Piscopo's character, Kelly Stone, he's like, the reason why Chuck Norris doesn't fight anymore is because I would kick his ass. Then we find out later on in the film that Chuck Norris fights him and ends up kicking his ass. Also, Mako, who plays Mr. Lee in this film, this dude is a legendary actor. I mean, from Avatar, Memoirs of a Geisha, 7 Years in Tibet, Pearl Harbor, Sidekicks, Highlander 3, the the Final Dimension, which I do not see in here. But he was also in the Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer films. He is such a great actor. He passed, I believe, in 2007. But seriously, a great actor this man was. And he plays the teacher of Barry, who's teaching him martial arts. And he teaches him kind of in a Mr. Miyagi kind of way. He doesn't teach him, or he has more unorthodox methods. But then when he finally gets into, or when Barry's finally ready, he starts teaching him more direct fashion. And teaching him with nunchucks and whatnot, and he does very well. There is a sequence in this film that is very much objectively flawed. They had a martial arts competition where Barry is doing nunchucks for weapons demonstration. And they bring it back to the fantasy setting where you see a much bigger built guy who is an extreme expert at nunchucks to do this sequence, and you immediately know that this is not the same guy. This is not Barry in the ninja suit. So then they cut back to Barry after he ends his sequence, or the weapons kata is done, and it's like, okay, so the crowd is supposed to believe that he did this all, but in his head he is the ninja in that fantasy sequence. Beau Bridges playing the father in this, where he's kind of crushes on Julia Nixon, the teacher, and I really do like that because Beau Bridges, he's a great actor and whatnot, and they kind of make him look, well, less than appealing, that he has a gut and whatnot. Yet this teacher, who is strikingly beautiful, looks to have quite the interest in him, and it's a nice little thing. It's not overtly done to show that there is an actual relationship. However, it does look like it could bloom into something, and I think that that is actually quite a nice way of doing it. You know, I mean, you don't have to be that, or that basically says you don't have to be a freaking chiseled Spartan to get a woman who is very much attractive. So this film, from an objective standard, I would actually say is about an 8.5. It has great writing, it has great acting, a few things here and there that could have been done. You get little continuity errors and whatnot. You get body double errors. However, this film is pretty solid. And when Chuck Norris, or when the kid actually finally meets Chuck Norris in real life in the film, it is a genuine fan kind of reaction that he does. And this kid, being an asthmatic, he's got to watch his breathing. And I really do love how this film plays out. Subjectively, this film is a 10 out of 10. It's a great film. I really do enjoy it. I mean, it's one of the films that I really kind of clicked to back in the day, because I was getting into martial arts and liked martial arts. I was a Karate Kid, Ninja Turtles, and Sidekicks, plus Chuck Norris movies. I mean, yes, I ended up doing martial arts when I was younger. Nowadays, well, body can only take so much, you know. However, this movie, from a moviegoer standpoint, is a 10 out of 10. It keeps you in your seat. It keeps you laughing. It has comedy moments. It has oh crap moments. It has great moments. I mean, this movie is truly one that does a good job with it. Yeah. Anyway, folks, that is going to be the review for Sidekicks. It is a movie that I highly recommend if you haven't seen it yet. It truly is. It truly is tragic also about Jonathan Brandis. And Mako passed in I believe 3-4 years after him. But these characters are immortalized in the best way in this film. And I really do like Mako. I mean, Mako, he has that very wise voice that he does. And one of the funniest things he does in this movie is a cigar gag, where one guy is being an extremely racist, using a racist Asian term. Starts with a C, ends with a K, and he tells the guy in front of him to stop, or that he needs, or this guy tells Mako that the guy in front of him needs to stop smoking. And so he's like, all right, let me see your cigar, and just poofs the cigar, making it disappear in a puff of smoke. However, the guy who was being rude ends up his jacket ends up starts smoking. And he gets on a train and rides off laughing about it. I mean, Mako is truly... This is a movie where he really does shine, you know? And the martial arts competition is just a true treat to watch. Folks, this movie is definitely one that I recommend. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What did you think of Sidekicks? Did you like it? Did you not? If you've seen it, what was your favorite part in it? Did you know that Chuck Norris had a kid named Eric Norris? Let me know all your thoughts, folks. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. Have a wonderful day, and always remember, stay humble.